Oi, oi, it's your boy, the one, the only, Ricky J, the UK's finest, bringing you, all of you, the hardest hitting takes, the boldest predictions, and straight up banter from across the pond. Welcome to where the bell never stops ringing. Welcome to the People's Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to go ahead, like, subscribe, share, all of that. Very, very quickly, a big thank you to all of those that have watched my shorts. As great as that is, I need to translate to here. Exactly the same with TikTok. That's getting up there in numbers. The videos, my post on there. So as great as that is, or big, very appreciative, very thankful. That I need to translate here. So if you get those numbers up, share this everywhere you can, whatever. Even if it's just one wrestling group you're in, send it to all your wrestling friends and family. They will thank you for it. As we break down all WWE, AEW, TNA, and everything else in between. So, as said, I am Ricky J, here with the man himself, heading down Know Your Old Boulevard. Just haven't gone for breakfast. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it. But here he is. It is the money man himself. All about the moolah. Here he is. It is Marcus.
Yo, shatter glass and kick some ass. What's going on, guys?
And how are you on this fine Saturday morning over there in the great United States of America?
You damn right is great. You said the right thing. I'm good. Just up, getting some breakfast. Got my iced coffee. Got my breakfast bowl here. Gonna be destroying that while talking some shit.
Of course, representing the man himself, which we'll get into later on in your TNA predictions. But say his name in here appears Joe Hendry. Does he win the title back? We'll wait and see our predictions later on. But yeah, go ahead and like, subscribe, get the share everywhere you can. As we go into segment number one here, you guys should know what it is by now. For those that are new, it is this, right? Yeah. That is right. What's cooking to the table? I'm going to start with you first, Marcus. So I know you've done a book. Do you want to tell the folks what you got for breakfast, what you've been up to? I know you've got a cookout coming up later. So yeah, tell everyone about that.
I mean, I got me a salted caramel iced coffee, and I got me a nice little scrambled egg bowl with some. I got some steak and eggs, pretty much, with some jalapenos, some hot peppers, some spinach, some garlic aioli, and got that going on. Yeah, I'm going to a cookout later. It's gonna be full of drinks, hot girls, and just a good time. Go ahead.
Is a cookout a barbecue? Yeah.
So there's a difference. I think there's a small difference between cookout and barbecue. A cookout, it's not just about food. You know what I mean? It's not just about the food. If anything, in this day and age, especially, the food is not the main event. For a barbecue, the main event is food, but I will also say it also depends on culture, right? Me being black, we don't say barbecue. A barbecue is cool, but a barbecue is much more like, only amongst people that you cool with, only amongst people that you know. A cookout has everybody, strangers of all sorts, and everything else is more open to the public. Now, like I said, it all depends on what you want to call it, but I from what I've experienced, a cookout is much more open to the public. A barbecue is much more like family and friends.
So a cookout, anybody can just come along if you like.
Yeah, a cookout is open to whoever because it's not like in someone's backyard. It's not, it's not just like in an open park area, just only reserved for those people. It's open to the public. I mean, once again, you can use the two words interchangeably, but From what I've seen, cookouts and barbecues are not the same thing.
As they say, you learn something new every day. I've learned something new. I thought that they were the same thing. So, yeah.
Other than that, same old stuff. It's summertime, which means I don't do nothing. I get to do I get to do whatever I want. I've been playing my favorite game, which is MLB The Show 25 a lot lately. Just getting used to that game again, playing it, having fun with it, and just been a really good time.
Also, you put up a recent. Well, first of all, it's always in the description. We'll put the link up as we're talking here, but I will play a video just to do a video later. So Marcus's channel, he put up a review of footwear that you wear for skateboarding, I believe. So if you go and check that out, and also check out my short promoting his channel. But yeah, the big people watching you find the food and drink reviews, cocktail making. Marketing channel is the one for you. So go ahead, show your support, like and subscribe. But yeah, I thought your last video was interesting about, was it footwear for skateboarding?
Yeah, that's what it was. This is a pair of shoes that I've been using for like I think over a year. Because obviously it's too cold. When it's too cold to skateboard, I don't do it. So this has been like an off and on type of jam. But yeah, the shoes are really good. If people are interested in that, watch the review of it and see all the damage I've done to them. The more worn in a skate shoe is, the better it is. That's usually how it goes. And I can tell you that these shoes are incredible. But you gotta watch the review to really know the ins and outs.
Yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of skateboarding fans out there. I may live in the world of wrestling and nothing else exists. But I know how popular basketball and skateboarding is. So yeah, people can check it out, and we're getting to see kind of a behind the scenes lots of Marcus' journey on the way home, taking the people's lift, elevator, whatever thing.
I was about to say thank you because I was about to say. I mean, yeah, it's the same thing. Y'all just have funny words for everything.
So yeah, people go and check it. The link is there. Go and check it out. Always in the description. Every single one of my videos, be that this or my 10,000 watch along, not 10,000, but 3 watch alongs last week, and then DNA this week. And apologies to those that I did have to cut my Great American Bash watch along short. It was super hot. I know a rarity here in the UK, but super warm on my back was killing me. Now it's a whole lot better. So, for those that don't know, walking my dog the other week, fell on some wet grass, hurt my back. This week went to the hospital on Monday just to make sure I'd not broken anything. I certainly feel like I did. Haven't. Went to the doctor's physio. Went to see physio on Wednesday. They gave me some exercises to do and ibuprofen that takes down the swelling. My back's feeling a whole lot better. Still not 100%, but so I'm slowly getting back into the gym, taking things easy. So yeah, there's that. Have made TNA version of the half and half match choice I make. Also, the mention I go to, I made a birdhouse, so we'll be putting that up. So I wanted to show you guys, we'll be putting that up later on today. Hopefully get some birds in it. It's probably not really the season for them, but who knows? And yeah, that's really all I've been up to. It'll be more of this. So no, okay, no wrestling next week because there's a week off. Because I need SummerSlam and I've got a show in between the 2 nights of SummerSlam. yeah, and that's it, really. That's all I've been up to. There is no news and headlines, unless I'm missing something, or feel free for the people in the comments. I mean, anything I've missed, but I can't think of anything any really news story this week. So AEW coming back to London. Well, no, they're in London anyway this time, aren't they? So yeah, that's when it's a really nothing week for wrestling news. All in is coming back to London, but that's it. That's the only piece of news, I suppose. And it's not really news because they're back in London for Forbidden Door, so it's not really news. So sorry about that, guys. If there's no news to report on or give our opinions on, so be it. So go right into the next segment here quickly, and that is all about the red carpet, all about Hollywood, all about the big screen, the small screen, the silver screen, because it is this one right here. That is right. Movie talk. Get yourself in the comments, guys. What movies you've been watching this week? What movies you recommend? But the two movies I've watched are. Let's do this quickly. Are somewhere. Almost Cops. Funny, decent movie. It's dubbed over, which it is what it is. Yeah, an okay comedy. And I have watched a brand new, here he is flying in, Superman. I thought it was decent. A little cameo from John Cena in it. It's basically Superman versus Lex. That's all it is, really. Some people, trashed it and said it's a load of crap. It's a load of shit. It was okay. Again, I've said this last week, either last week or the week before. We're saying about the Street Fighter movie. If I was going to the cinema to watch these movies, I'm putting up a whole different opinion on them. But I'm sat at home watching them for free. If the crap, what's on it? So there's that. But I've got my eye on the. Without sit and watch anything, for the new Smurfs movie, I do want to watch. Is that it? I don't know. There's a few movies coming out that I've got my eye on, but I'll just say the new Smurfs movie for now. Yeah. But we'll play an ad here and then go right into a massive week of wrestling roundup. But we'll get to, we'll do wrestling roundup and then, of course, this week in wrestling history. But wrestling roundup will be coming your way after this ad, right? Somewhere here. That is right. Head to Protein Teas, Goldman's one. I'm going to very, very actually look live, guys, just very quickly. So, Smurfs, and I'll make this as quick as I can. I know Marcus isn't the biggest movies fan. I'm going to respect that. So, just going very quickly just to see what other movies I do want to watch. So, yes. So, anyway. Slightly distracted there. Sorry. So yeah, the new Smurfs movie, and that's it, really. Just looking here, that's the only really new movie. They made another, I know you did last summer, is that a remake? I'll probably watch that as well if that. if that's what it is. All these remakes. Ugh. Anyway, it is what it is. So yes, as a protein tease, Goldman's won. Buy my t-shirts if you want 2 shout-outs, or just get it shared out there, spread the word, spread the name, all of that. But the ring is ready. Many shows to go over here. The crowd have sat. It can only be this. That is right, wrestling roundup, starting with the Great American Bash. Did you watch any of it, Marcus, or shall I just run through it?
I didn't. I didn't get the chance to watch the bash. I had no idea what time it was on.
Head to head, all in it went. So it was a decent show. You know, if you've got time to go back and watch. I thought the North American title match was good. I was back pain, hot days, so I kind of had paying half attention, if that makes sense. So Javon Evans over Jasper Troy. I think it would have made much more sense for Jasper Troy to win. You know, Great McCamash is a big stage. It didn't make much sense in Javon winning, but there's that. Solo could retain against Easy Dame. Same deal. I think I said Easy to take the title. Some gold in the Cullen would have made a bit of sense. But again, it is what it is. So your thoughts on Javon defeating Troy, Justin Troy, and Sol Ruka remaining your women's North American champion?
I think these were the right moves because in a way, Javon Evans also needs some. He needs some momentum because he's fallen off a lot. We haven't really seen Javon Evans get like a good victory in a long time. And there was a point in time that Javon Evans was, going to be like the next guy up. But maybe they also might have called that too soon because, Oba still, is a young dude. I mean, almost everybody in NXT is young. So, it really didn't matter. You gotta try to make the right call. And it's just like, Javon is Javon. And you gotta just hope that, he get his footing together and can regain some of that momentum that he had early on this year.
And Sol retaining, your thoughts?
I like it because then what happened at Evolution, which we'll talk about, I feel like that plays into that factor of what happened at Evolution.
Also, to the people watching now or later on, get your comments saying what you thought of Great American Bash, All In, Evolution, Saturday Night's main events, and who won the, we'll call it a war. Was it AEW or was it WWE who won this so-called war that seems to be happening? Or the counter programming? Is it counter programming Forbidden Door? Forbidden Doors? Whatever. It is what it is. And I know we've discussed it, like, you would think that it's all thought out way in advance, all these shows, but it just seems to be counter programming. Anyway, Sol Ruka wasn't the only one to retain. Ethan Page retained. Really used the fall count anywhere match rule to affect the Ego's Edge off the stage through a couple of tables. This was probably the only really good match on the card. The rest was just okay. So yeah, and in your not your main event, Obafemi retained against Yoshiki Nomura. This was good, and I like that. the reason that Yoshiki lost was because Josh Briggs obviously went back to on NXT. So that was kind of the out for Yoshiki losing. So Yoshiki will look to wait to keep the title over. Yeah. So yeah, your thoughts on both of those, Ethan retaining, but both Ethan and Oba retaining.
I mean, I like Ethan retaining. I think Ethan's probably one. I mean, since I've been watching NXT, he's definitely been one of the better North American champions that I've seen, behind Oba, of course. But I think I've only seen two. Yeah, I've only seen two North American champions during my time period of watching. No, three during my time period watching NXT. Wait, no, four, four. Because Tony D'Angelo, Oba, Ricky Saints, and Ethan. So so Ethan definitely is like top two out of those four. He's doing a great job as a heel, and so it's beautiful stuff to see. I mean, of course, I saw Oba winning. I think but it works into what we're going to talk about. What happened on Tuesday as far as NXT goes.
That in your main event for Great American Bash, Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe over Fatal Influence. Yeah, no shocker, really. What Blake did at Evolution, I think, geez, to me personally, just still feels like just another woman on the roster. This didn't feel special in really anything. It's just like, because she wasn't a big star to start with. She won the. For those that know who she is, like, oh yeah, cool, Mariah amazing, WWE. But if you don't know who she is, who is she? But I suppose the NXT fans watch everything, so whatever. Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe with a win. Cool. We'll give NXT a rating of mid card. Your thoughts of Jordan and Blake taking the dub?
I like it. I didn't see it coming, obviously, because Fatal Influence is a team, and Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe was just kind of slapped together. But yeah, I like the fact that they won, and that kind of plays well into what happened at Evolution.
Going to the show, or the company show, whatever, they went head to head with AEW All In, including the 0 hour, 7 hours this show was. Damn. So that's a lot. We've discussed it before. That's a hell of a lot for wrestling. So let's get through this. Sons of Anarchy over Shane Taylor Promotions. Okay. Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration knocked off the Don Callis family. Again, okay. And FTR over the Outrunners. No, big win for the Outrunners getting a match against FTR. That was all your matches on the 0 hour. Any thoughts of any of that, Marcus?
Absolutely not.
Okay, kicking off your first match of the main show, or the actual show. The Ops retain against the Death Riders. I like the Mojo's getting a push. I like that. Outside of that, nothing. Not one thing. Do you like the Samoa Joe's getting a push, or what's your thoughts on Samoa Joe as a wrestler?
I mean, first of all, I mean, obviously his better years are behind him, but and his WWE run was what it was. He cut a good promo, but he cuts what I like to call a scathing promo better than a regular everyday promo. Um, but it is good that he gets a push. Um, he got his stable, the Ops, even though I don't know why they're called the Ops, but whatever.
Who knows? Who knows what they do on AEW? Why they do what they do?
But it works, and I mean, good for Samoa Joe. Getting that. I still wish Samoa Joe would have won the AEW championship, but then again, there's a reason why he didn't.
Just give me 1 second here. I forgot the order of the matches, but it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to look it up here, but actually, no, I've got it. Give me 1 second then. I think it might have been the Casino Gauntlet match that was a scramble match. False advertising again. But I mean, 1 second. I'll be with you with the ops, and then it was 1 second, almost got it, and yeah, so it was MJF winning the gauntlet match that was a scramble match. Wasn't a gauntlet match at all. That's when they said, oh, it was a stretcher match when it was an ambulance match. No shocker here. So I did see a couple of new faces, and that's always well. There's many cool things about wrestling, but one of those cool things is always seeing new faces, whether it's in WWE, AEW, TNA, had a indie show, whatever it is. I saw a couple of new faces in this, but no shocker that MJF won. But it was a scramble match, not a gauntlet match. It was the first to get the pin. Dustin Rhodes is your new TNT champion, and is he 56? Yeah, oh yeah, I did a video, a little short about it. So he's 2 years younger than Goldberg. And okay, you know, Goldberg's going for a world title, and Dustin's going for a mid-card title, but it's still these old-timers, old-timers going after titles that young people should really be going after, and one's a world title, one's a mid-card title, but it's still Goldberg's 58, Dustin's 56. I like the push he's getting, so that's cool. But he's 56. If anybody should have won here, it should have been Cal Fletcher. Would have given the TNT title to him. Yeah, that's it. Your thoughts on MGF winning the gauntlet and Dustin Rhodes, your brand new TNT champion?
I mean, I had no doubt that MJF was going to win the scramble gauntlet, whatever it was. I mean, he's also part of the Hurt Syndicate, so like that was obvious, you know, because he hurt people too, so that's cool. Dustin winning the title. So I think I commented this, or maybe I've only said it in our group chat.
Yeah,
The difference between Goldberg and Dustin is that Dustin throughout his time has always been active in the business, right? From when he was a young little scrapper in WCW to when he went to WWE, became Goldust, to even when he became the artist formerly known as Goldust, to Black Reign, to Seven, to all these different characters and iterations of himself. He has never stopped being on the road, hitting the gym, and being a WWE superstar. Meanwhile, Goldberg has taken breaks, been in movies. You know, he hasn't lived the life of a professional wrestler. That's the biggest difference between Dustin and Goldberg. Yes, Goldberg might look like he's in better shape than Dustin, but Dustin is in better ring shape than Goldberg. Goldberg can get blown up within, you know, just as long as his matches be sometimes a minute long. Dustin can wrestle full on matches, right? So that's the difference between the two guys. Dustin has the stamina to hang in the ring, which is why he gets pushed in AEW / Ring of Honor. Goldberg shows up, kicks some ass, and leaves. And that's it. That's all we see from Goldberg. So that's the big difference between Dustin and Goldberg. Though I agree with you, but I will also say who better to help elevate talent than Dustin Rhodes?
So a few things there. So yeah, you did comment. Big thank you to that. Anybody else? Go and leave a comment on my shorts. For very quickly going back to Goldberg. Well, yeah, I suppose the big thing is he comes in after 3 years. Comes in after 3 years and he's straight to the front of the line. Yeah, I'm joking here, but this is probably what he does backstage. Jay, you have to win the Rumble. Cena, you have to win the Chamber. Rollins, you have to win Money in the Bank. But I just cut a promo because I'm Goldberg. I doubt it went down like that, but who knows? So who better? Well, yeah. I like the Dustin one, as I'm saying, but I would have given it to Kyle Fletcher just because he's getting a push and why not? Well, the title's meaningless. It's just the TNT. It's named after the channel. That's like called the Netflix title. Okay, we got
Well, well, the thing is So let's kind of talk about that, right? So the reason why there's a TNT and a TBS title, so they kind of reimagined what a TV title is. That's what it is, right? So in a way, that's what it is, a TV title, because most of the time, because that's how WCW and ECW's television title was presented, right? They got defended on TV as well as at pay-per-view. So that's the reason why there's a TNT title. It's a television title to put it into other words.
Okay, but it is very, very meaningless. Like everybody has had the TNT title, everyone. So why not put it on Kyle? Personally, I like that. So I'm very, very 50-50. I like that Dustin was 1-8, but he's 56. So it is what it is. Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay defeat and beat the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are no longer EVPs. I watched little bits, because someone was talking about it, and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting, so I'll check it out on YouTube. The Young Bucks now get no pyro. Everybody's gloating at the fact that they lost. They have to. They're no longer have an office. You have to get changed in the basement. So I just saw those little bits on YouTube because someone mentioned it. I thought, oh, so I'll check it out. But that's the only tiny bit of Dynamite I watched this week. So now Will and Swerve can at some point up to 1 year, it's like kind of like Money in the Bank, isn't it? They can go after the they can go after the world title up to a year, but All In's back in London next year. So Will Ospreay versus whoever the champion is then. I think they put the title on him next year. But who's where? Athena won the women's casino gauntlet scramble match. Cool for her. But a win that she probably needed. Yeah, that's my thoughts. So your thoughts on Will and Swerve taking the EVP thing away from the Young Bucks and Cena going on to get a title shot at presumably either the next show or some random Dynamite.
I mean, I think it's cool that Swerve and Will, who at first didn't get along, during some episodes of Dynamite, and eventually got together and beat the Young Bucks. I think that's pretty cool. And we'll see how and when the AEW title is looking within a year's time at the next All In. Well, prior to the next All In and when it gets there. And I think Athena used to be Ember Moon, right?
Correct, yes. She's in longest reigning women's Ring of Honor champion.
So I like the fact that she kind of revitalized her career, because like when she got called up to the main roster of WWE, she just was like meh. She had a couple good matches here and there, but like it didn't. She kind of had that Lyra Valkyria kind of effect. Like only the NXT fans understood her, But unlike Lyra, she never. Lyra starting to now click and get over with the regular fans on the main roster. Ember never really reached that plateau. She had to even go back down to NXT, and then she got released. So she's revitalizing her career. So I love that for her.
Yeah. But see, I'm just speaking, going back to very quickly all in. I might actually even. I don't hate AEW like completely. We wouldn't even discuss it. I wouldn't even look. It's just not. Ugh. I don't completely hate AEW. It's just All In was good. I say this every single time. Their pay-per-views are good. Double or Nothing. What was their first one of the year? Oh no, Revolution, Dynasty, Double or Nothing, All In, all good. It's just their weekly show that isn't, or show. They got two shows. So I might actually go to All In next year. We'll see. Why not? And it's in Wembley. I've never been, so the Hurt Syndicate retain against Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. The bigger story here is so FTR take out Christian. Oh, no. Nick Wayne turns on Christian. FTR tries to take him out. You have the return of the one, the only, the rated R top or Edge. And it looks like an Edge then helps up Christian, says, go and find yourself, because in a promo, Christian said to Edge, go and fuck yourself. So Edge said, go and find yourself. It looks like Edge, I'm going to call them Edge and Christian, that's who they are. Edge and Christian versus FTR at All Out. Yeah, All Out in September. I'm going to play Build It for that. So yeah, that'll be cool to see Edge and Christian reuniting. Timeless Tony Storm had a timeless retention against not 7 belts, 6 belts. Monet, what's the move? I forgot already. Storm Zero from the top. 1, 2, 3. Still your AEW Women's Champion, timeless Tony Storm. So Tony Storm versus Athena. Okay, so your thoughts on what's here? So your thoughts on Hurt Syndicate retaining and the return of Edge and the possibility of Edge and Christian reuniting.
I mean, I love the Her Syndicate. I think everybody should know that. I love them. They hurt people, so that works super well with MJF winning the scramble and them retaining the title. It's going to look so good. That the Her Syndicate looks like they're about to be taking over AEW. So I love that fact. Listen. I don't think, and I said this. I think I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. No one like no one's on Tony Storm's level, not just in AEW but in WWE. It's hard to really think who's really on Tony's level in women's wrestling as a whole. Her timeless character is amazing. We all know that if that timeless character was even touch WWE, it'd be ruined in a second. She just the magic that she makes in the ring is, well, I hate to be cliche, it's timeless. It's beautiful. It's great. It's great, compelling stuff. And I'm glad that she's in AEW. As far as Cope and Christian, yeah, I can see that happening again. I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, we've seen other nostalgia tag teams kind of, go back into AEW and win tag gold. I mean, we saw I don't know if the Hardys won tag gold, but we've seen the Hardys reappear in AEW, and that was fun. So why not? Why not CNC?
Oh yeah, that was a complete waste. Like, how would you screw up the Hardys? Please, arguably the greatest tag team of all time. You might say the Dudleys, some might say the Usos, some might say Jim Christian, some might say Demolition New Day. There's many. But I think the Hardys are probably the greatest tag team of all time, and Tony can't screw that up. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that. You can't screw up
Matt,
the Hardys.
Matt Hardy coming in was cool. Yeah, as a tag team, they won a couple of matches on Collision, and that was it. Going back to Tony Storm, yeah, her character will be ruined in WWE, won't be handled well. And I like that they're keeping character. So if 7 hours of wrestling isn't enough, then they do a 2 hour, I think it's 2 hours, press conference. And they're keeping character, which is good. They're not like The Rock was. Like The Rock was for Elimination Chamber. Everything you've just seen was, I hate to use the word fake, but everything you've just seen was fake. Forget that. That's what The Rock was like. For those that watched the Elimination Chamber press conference, like that was The Rock. I'm Dwayne Johnson. Whatever. But they try keeping character somewhat on from the bits I've seen of the press conference for AEW. I don't watch much of them. I watch bits here and there, but what I've seen, they're keeping character. Do you see Athena taking the title from Tony Storm? 2 belts, Athena.
Absolutely the hell not. It is the only. I can't see anyone taking the belt from Tony because the thing is, her character is too compelling. For someone to take the title off of Tony, it got to be someone that is just as compelling as a character. And mind you, Mercedes Moné has a very compelling character in AEW. It just wasn't her time, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like Tony Storm, because I mean, when you look back at all the AEW women's champions that they had over the years, none of them really meet up to the standard that Tony Storm meets. You know, yeah, I can't even think of. Yeah, no one really has the character to do it, right? Like Tony Storm has mastered. This is a master class in sports entertainment. That's what this is. Tony Storm has written a master class in sports entertainment. This is how you sports entertain. This is how you do it. And none of the women on AEW, like AEW has a, and this is no offense to them, because I'm sure they could probably kick my ass in the ring for sure. They have a weak women's roster. Their women's roster is very weak. You know, the best women's roster out here in wrestling is NXT's. Then is WWE's main roster, and then AEW's. No, I would say TNA has a pretty good women's roster as well. AEW probably has the weakest. And I'm not trying to discredit Tony Storm's title reign whatsoever. But no one is taking that title off of Tony Storm.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Athena. It's AEW. Who knows? Who knows? But I don't think she takes the title off her. But she could, or a shocker. And as you say, her Tony Storm character is that big that she probably doesn't really need it when your character's like a Rhea Ripley. Does Rhea Ripley need this? Her character is so big that she doesn't really need the title. So
I disagree. I disagree with that though. Rhea Ripley's character without the title is naked. Just a naked character. Because no. Once again, if we're comparing, these two Australian women because they're both from Australia, Tony Storm's character is absolutely 100 times better than Mommy because that's Rhea's character clearly. Mommy.
She stays in character all the because she invested so much time into it, and she stays in character on the press conferences. She stays in time on the odd interview I've seen of Tony Storm. I don't make a habit to be watching her interviews, but like, my 30 or 10 seconds on a YouTube clip, I've seen it, and she stays in character. So I think there's weird, but like, or what you've just seen on Raw. Again, I hate to use the word fair, or I use the word scripted and predetermined. I think that's better. Everything you've just seen, well, that was all the work. That was just a show. But they don't really stay in character, whereas they do in AEW. So I think that's yeah. But moving along here, Okada is your brand. Well, okay, this is AEW booking for you. So Okada is your brand new Continental Champion, but the title means nothing because the international title and continental title will still be defended. So I think the unified title was just there. You go. You like like when Braun Strowman won the greatest Royal, what was it called? The greatest Royal Rumble, I think, something like that. I think,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And he was just presented a belt. Here you go, you've won that. That's all I think it is. Okada's just, there you go, you've won this. I don't think it actually means anything. I don't think it's going to be defended. Or maybe it is. I don't know. But what I've heard is the international title and continental title will still be defended. So therefore, the belt, the unified title means nothing. That's AEW booking for you right there. Your main event, brand news, or another new champion, Hangman Adam Page did it. You're a two-time AEW World Champion, snatching, blowing the title away from John Moxley. This was a good main event. You're very storytelling, a match you never seen in WWE ever. Using very early on, like 30 seconds in, below the Hangman Page with like a spike into the head of Moxley. Glass.
It was a fork. It was a fork.
So glass, barbed wire, bed of nails, so much blood. You saw the return of Darby Allin coming down from the rafters. He's obviously slammed Everett. Brian Danielson made a run in. Obviously, that made sense because Moxley took the title from Danielson. Swerve handed Page a chain. Yeah, very storytelling match. A match you'll never ever see in WWE ever. Yeah, the main event was good. If it's good, I'm going to put it over. If it's good, I'm going to say it's good. Not everything that AEW does is bad. So you've got MJF, Hangman Page. Page isn't losing that for a while, I don't think. Overall, again, I've said it before. Again, AEW do not top notch, but good pay-per-views. Just below a main event, I'll say. So your thoughts on Okada winning the unified title and Hangman Page becoming two-time AEW World Champion?
I mean, I guess with the Okada thing, I mean, once again, I don't understand the hype behind Okada. From what I saw, I haven't seen much of Okada. I don't have much knowledge on Okada. Maybe y'all could comment below. Am I wrong about Okada? But the impression I have of Okada is very meh, very average. That's how I felt about when I first saw Kenny Omega. I still kind of feel that way. He's slightly above average. He does way too many V triggers. He treats them like super kicks, which means they're just too common to happen in wrestling. I don't know. I'm still not too much sold on Okada as a wrestler, but that's just me. That's just me. Yes, I don't watch the Japan stuff. Don't scream at me in the comments, but then again, scream at me if you want to because I don't care. I don't watch the Japanese wrestling. I'm not a fan. And as far as Hangman, like you said, it's great storytelling. I compare this in a way to Cody, right? The help that he had against Roman, right? The Avengers came out and helped, and Hangman had the same thing. He had his own clan of Avengers out there helping him out, make sure that he got the title because the Death Riders would do it. The Death Riders, similar to the Bloodline with Roman, they will do whatever it takes to make sure that their leader retained the title. Well, not so fast, buddy. You got these you got the Avengers out there. You got Darby Allin, yeah, Swerve. You had all these other people helping them out, and that was awesome. Daniel Bryanson, or maybe I'm saying yeah, Daniel Bryanson. So once again, it was dope. I think it's cool that Hangman got the dub, and let's see how long he hangs on to it.
Well, Cody Reigns. What was good, I thought, every time Hangman tried to get the upper hand, no, someone was in there. We really used to beat Claudio, but whoever beat Marina Shafir got involved. There was someone there. So, no, like it was a ladder. He got upper rung. Oh no, sweat down again. Upper rung, sweat down again. So just as you thought, oh, he's gonna win. No, someone was there to stop him. So I thought, that was different. Whereas Cody, very scripted. Of course, it's WWE. It is scripted, but I didn't have the sense of because at the back of my mind, I thought, yeah, Cody's winning this. I didn't think, Cody feeling jeopardy at WrestleMania last year, whereas there was no one there to, he's got the upper hand, stop. Got the upper hand, stop. He just, it was what he was. We'll keep with the AEW thing, and we'll quickly go through Dynamite here. So Takeshita and Carl Fletcher knocked off. I've got the wrong notes here. Give me 1 second. So I was last week's Dynamite. I don't mean this week was any better, but somewhere here, 1 second. Somewhere. To be more prepared, I know. Here we are. No, we're not here. Oh, there it is. Right. Carl Fletcher beat Mascara Dorado. Okay. Josh Alexander, Young Bucks, and Josh Alexander, Young Bucks, and Rio, whoever that is, knocked off Jet Speed, Brody King, and Bandido. Again, okay. Belter won $100,000 against Queen Amita, Willow Nightingale, and Chris Statlander. The fact that you have to have one of the wrestlers winning money to gain any interest is just, that says it all. Okada defeated Rafael Quintoro, whoever that is, and Hangman Page, Mark Briscoe, and Powerhouse Hobbs were victorious against the Death Riders. That's how you follow up All In. I'll say a jobber. Moving right along to the other show that All In went head to head with, and that was Saturday night's main event that kicked off with the man himself, the Viper, Randy Orton. Saturday night main event is what it is. Like I said before, just as you getting into a match, oh no, here comes a commercial, entrance commercial, another entrance commercial, they do a kick commercial. But Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, your winner here, Randy Orton. We're now getting Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. Okay. Trying to look at the order of the matches here, but I think it was a US title match. Was it Logan Paul? Not Logan Paul. Rollins. Rollins and LA Knight, I think. Yeah, because he did that, and people thought, oh, he's coming back to cash in. So yes, it was LA Knight, Seth freaking Rollins. So Rollins picking up the injury, unfortunately. So moonsault, lion salt, call it what you like, landed on his knee. Some people are saying this is a work. Dave Meltzer's saying this is a work, but apparently he's out until December. Not good. Some people are still, well, Dave Meltzer's saying that Rollins is returning at SummerSlam to, we'll get into Raw, but to get involved in the world title match, which he could, because he has said that a certain somebody will never be champion as long as Rollins is around. So that could happen. This could all be a work, but I don't know. It could be. But the way that he landed on the knee, talked to the ref in the corner, LA Knight kick to the knee, BFT 1, 2, 3, your winner. This could all be a work. Who knows? But Marcus, are you there? Your thoughts on well, any thoughts on Dynamite or no?
No thoughts on Dynamite because this sounds like it was all over the place, and I don't know most of those wrestlers.
Your thoughts on
As far
Orton?
as I mean, Orton beating Drew, I called that. Love to see it. I'm actually pretty stoked for Jelly Roll getting in the ring. We've never seen like I don't know if we've ever seen like a big dude like Jelly, get in the ring as like a celebrity. And at that, like we've read reports of who's training him and also that he's very dedicated to getting in the ring. I think that's lovely. Whenever a celebrity, wants to truly dedicate themselves to getting in the ring. And this could have been a news and headline. Some of the plans for SummerSlam has been scrapped due to Travis Scott's level of dedication to learning how to be in the ring and stuff. Because if we all remember, when
we all remember WrestleMania. Yes, that was wonderful. WrestleMania.
That punch was a shoot. Like that wasn't a work punch. That was a shoot punch. He punched the shit out of Cody Rhodes. And maybe that was supposed to happen. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know, to be honest. But what I do know is the fact that Travis Scott is not dedicated to getting in the ring. He's not really dedicated to doing this. It lets us know that we should never see Travis Scott ever again. That's what that tells me as a viewer, as a fan. We should never see Travis Scott again. Like this was okay, a nice little experiment to see if he can do that thing because as of recent we've seen some pretty good guests do some pretty good work. But Travis Scott not being dedicated to getting in the ring and all that, it tells us all we need to know. So it's good that Jelly Roll is really committed to his role and wanting to do more in the ring. I think it's a good look for the big guy. It'll be good for him, not just exposure wise, but also regular health and fitness wise. Gotten a lot. He's gotten a lot smaller than he was when he first appeared on WWE TV. So that's really good too. And the way they put it into storyline is actually really awesome too. Like he got beat. He got beat up by Drew. So that was cool. So I think
that's good.
It's gonna help him lose a lot of weight.
That's good, but I just personally don't know who he is, and that's that. But I know you say like The Rock likes him, The Rock likes one of his songs.
Listen, if
Uh,
The Rock like him, you should probably start to get to know who he is. You're probably one of the biggest rock fans that I know, so I would hope, if you're gonna follow in The Rock's footsteps as best as you can, maybe check out some Jelly Roll. That's all I'm saying. And then the other match that did you ask me about another match that happened at Saturday Night main event?
Collins night. Well, your thoughts on the match? It was on the match, and is it? Do you think it's a work, or do you think Rollins had actually injured himself?
Well, sadly, I didn't see the match. Um, Now, do I think it? I don't think it's a. First of all, why the hell would it be a work with people helping them up to the back?
So
That's
that's
not. It wouldn't be. I mean, I get it. Whatever the imagination thing, but like, that's not a work. Seth Rollins is known to have knee problems. That man has a knee issue. He has a knee. He has knee issues. Um, and I think, in I mean, the way you describe the finish of the match, it seemed like the finish of the match it wasn't really supposed to happen that way. They kind of just they maneuvered around him and his sudden knee injury. So it sounds like this is obviously if you ask me this is real. It's not a work. It's a shoot. And two, this kind of throws off the plans for the briefcase for SummerSlam, amongst other things.
yeah. I think. Well, I'm 50-50. It could be real. It could be a work. Triple H spoke about it on the Evolution press conference, saying, "Well, it doesn't look good." He's not going to come out and say, "Well, this is all fake." Is he? He's saying it in this new Unreal series. He's exposing the business as they say, but Triple H mentioned it on the press conference post show. Rumors, I think the headline has come out that Rollins was meant to win. He was backstage to watch Becky's match at Evolution. He was on a recent interview saying, "Oh, he's injured." All this could be elaborate work, and he could be very well be there at SummerSlam and cost a certain somebody the chance of becoming world champion. Who knows? Solo Sikoa retains over Jimmy Uso. Like I said when we did our predictions, how did Jimmy even get the title shot in the first place? Cool, but hasn't earned it. And your main event, Goldberg, that broke the ribs of Charles Robinson, connecting with the spear. Goldberg going to the World Championship. 12-minute match. Goldberg actually put on a match that went more than 5 minutes. This was okay for his last match, but at the back of my mind, I thought he's winning this. But thank God he didn't. When he got Gunther up for the jackhammer, I think he did his knee in right there. I think his knee was done in. Well, he came into the match injured. I can't imagine gaining Gunther up for the jackhammer did his knee any good. Still your World Heavyweight Champion via pass out by Goldberg is Gunther. And then they cut directly to commercial. And they give Goldberg, I think he got like 30 seconds, if that, to say goodbyes. They could have brought him out on Raw, but they didn't. It is what it is. Your thoughts on Solo Sikoa retaining and Gunther retaining?
I love it. There's only one tribal chief, and his name is Solo Sokoa. That man's doing really good work right now. I mean, of course, I will never be rooting for Jacob Fatu ever again in my life. Um, so that's great. The Goldberg and Gunther match was pretty good. I liked it. It moved at us. Of course, it moved at a slow pace, which Gunther moves at a slow pace anyway. So it's a perfect fit for Goldberg to have Gunther and stuff. Some people say that he went out. He went out kind of bad. I don't know. I feel like Goldberg went out okay. You know what I mean? Like, being put in a sleeper hole. Because once again, Gunther doesn't have a true finishing move. He's just a guy in the ring. And I think that's one of the things that I may not like about Gunther. Though he does amazing work, he's a great ring technician. I mean, he's a ring general, but he has no finishing move. Sometimes he's gonna finish you with a sleeper hole. Sometimes he's gonna finish you with a power bomb. You don't really know how Gunther's gonna finish you. It's either one or the other. There is really no signature move or no finishing move for Gunther. I mean, signature moves are like his chop, right? And the dinosaur drop kick. But outside of those two moves, which are like his signature moves, he has no finishing move. He's either he gonna choke you out or he's gonna powerbomb you. And some people say Goldberg went out weak. I don't think he went out weak. I think he went out in a tough guy kind of way. And of course, obviously, cutting his interview short the way they did, all the commercials. It's kind of like, in a way, Goldberg got shafted in a way.
Yeah. I presume he probably didn't want to take a power bomb. That point. He probably didn't want to take a power bomb. That's how I would have ended it. Make Goldberg look as strong as possible on his way out. 3 or 4 power bombs, but then that would have led him out the interview, the 30 seconds he did get, and apparently he did an interview with Ariel Helwani, and he's more than unhappy about it. And he said in 2 weeks I can kind of let rip. In 2 weeks I can speak what's really on my mind. Yeah, I think that Triple H and Goldberg have had issues over the years, and obviously now Triple H is in charge. People are just like, yeah, cut it.
Yeah, well, you know what? A lot of people have been saying it's still some WCW bullshit, because we know how WWE has kind of treated former WCW stars. Let's look at Sting, for example, right? Sting's running the WWE was ass. It was a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, we all know that Sting's running WWE was a piece of shit. They should have done a lot more with Sting when he was in WWE. They didn't. They fucked that up. We can look at Diamond Dallas Page. They fucked him up. They ain't do him right. The only person that they did right from WCW was Booker T, and that took a little bit too long for them to treat Booker with respect.
Jericho came in, interrupted The Rock.
Well, all right. So there's a difference between all those guys, right? So Jericho came in during a time period when WCW was hot, not when WCW was dying, right? Like, WCW was still something when Jericho came in. And Jericho was never a top star in WCW in the first place. He was never a top star. He was mid-card at best. The biggest title that Jericho won while in WCW was the TV title. That was the third biggest title in WCW. But I'm talking about like pretty much after Invasion, right? Like, Goldberg got treated nicely at first, obviously, but then obviously the world came crashing down on Goldberg. DDP was not treated respectfully. The highest title that DDP won was the European title. This is coming from the fact this is DDP, a guy that won the WCW title twice, and he got relegated to European title status. Come on, get the fuck out of here. And then there's Sting. Sting, multi-time world heavyweight champion in WCW, a cornerstone of WCW, and you make him lose to Triple H at WrestleMania? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, DDP came in. Okay, well, he was a storyline with a big name, The Undertaker, but he was a stalker of his wife.
Right, and mind you, if we're comparing, and I don't mean to, for the women that's watching, I'm not a sexist, not like that, but let's compare Kimberly Page to Sarah. Are you kidding me? Hell no. Nah. Kimberly Page blows Sarah out the water. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
And Sting, well, what do we say? Well, if he hadn't got injured, what could have been, I suppose, but
Well,
And
that's due to Seth Rollins. That Seth Rollins was very reckless in his younger years because he also hurt Finn Balor. So I think in a weird way, this is karma getting back at Seth Rollins because now Seth Rollins has all these knee injuries.
I'm sure that I heard something, and it was just a rumor at the time that Rollins was meant to lose both titles. He lost the US title to Cena, and I think he was meant to lose the title to Sting. Maybe that was just a rumor. I don't know. But I would say the injury didn't help. Well, it ended Sting's career until he went to AEW. So
Right.
yeah. But yeah, and getting cut off, Goldberg getting cut off, just what it is, what it is. Like I said, I would have had Goldberg. I would have made Raw all about Goldberg. Why not? Why not? It is what it is. Your rating, I know you watched your full Saturday night's main event, but your rating on it. I know it's hard to rate because of the 10,000 commercials here, but still.
I'm going no well no that's what makes the show a show. It's opening match for sure. I mean, obviously, they get, WWE has to pay the bills somehow with all the advertisements, but yeah, I'm giving it an opening match. I mean, the only match, some of the matches were pretty good. Like Gunther and Goldberg was actually pretty good. Randy and Drew was actually pretty good, but other than that, Saturday's Night Main Event could have been better.
And when you're 3.7 or 3 point, whatever it is, over $3 billion in debt, you've got to play 50,000 commercials to try and get some of that money back.
Yeah.
Have 3,000 shows, not 3,000, but there's 3 pay-per-views next one: SummerSlam, Heatwave, Touch in Paris. I would imagine they will do 2 in. They might only do 1 in September, but we'll see. Anyway, into the all-women pay-per-view Evolution that kicked off with Triple Threat action: Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, Bayley. Yeah, good match to kick things off. We'll get into Raw, but in a little bit here. But this has all been all really to get Becky and get Lyra, and you said something in the chat, and anybody wants to join Golden Prediction. So I rarely promote it here, but I'm going to start doing. So the Golden Predictions League, we've got a group chat. Anyone wants to come in, 2 times to go after you, feel free. WWE, AEW predictions, and TNA. But yeah, like the fans are starting to get Lyra. Good triple threat to kick things off. Still your women's IC champion Becky Lynch, the roll up, the 1, 2, 3. All that was good. Second match, so JT Jane called it. So it was a loss for Jordan Grace, but it is what it is. Blake Monroe turning heel on Jordan. So Blake Monroe, Jordan Grace at Heatwave. Maybe dragged it out until the 24th. Probably. Oh no, that's a month and a half, isn't it? I don't know. But yeah, Jordan Grace lost because of Blake Monroe. Still, for now, I think it changes tomorrow. But for now, your NXT Women's Champion, JT Jane. Your thoughts on both here?
So I love like first of all, this whole pay per view is awesome. The triple threat match, it definitely did better than what I expected. Those women can wrestle their asses off, and shout out to Lyra. She's definitely gotten a lot better since she's been up on the main roster. I love this. Becky Lynch has elevated the Intercontinental title for the ladies, and Becky has also elevated Lyra. That was awesome. Blake Monroe, going back to her days of being her old character from AEW. Once again, JC Jane and Jordan Grace were having a pretty good match. But once again, JC Jane walks out as the champion. I'm telling you, as someone that is supposed to be the most beatable champion, she sure isn't beatable.
Yeah, I said, I've got a sense, got a feeling that may not be the case tomorrow night, but Fatal 4-Way Action, Judgment Day, Sol Ruka and Zarya, Alexa and Charlotte, and who was the other team from Raw? Thrown together at the last minute. Oh, Kabuki Warriors. This was an okay match. It was what it was. It was quick. It could have been on Raw. Yeah. Next match was it not Troy? It was Trish. Yeah, Tiffany Trish. Trish is 50 and looked 50. Very, very slow in this one. Big win for Tiffany, but yeah, Trish is old. And she said on the press conference that this might be my last match. I think this should be her last year, because I think she's been in it 25 years now. So I think 2025 should be it. But your thoughts on both those matches?
The tag match that was one of my favorites. That was oh my god, the tag match is one of my favorites. The ending sequence was definitely fire. It was definitely really good. Definitely really good. I mean, Zarya spearing Sol Ruka by accident due to Charlotte saving Alexa Bliss. That was cool as hell. That was dope. All the other sequences, and then of course, the Tahana bomb, Raquel and Roxanne retaining. I'm telling you, the women's division now with some of the call ups and some of the pairings, working together how they are. The women's tag division is getting so much better now. I love it. Trish and Tiffany. Obviously, the match got obviously the match slowed down because Tiffany's a little bit faster than that in the ring, and obviously Trish Stratus is what 50. So she's no one would ever think I'm off by saying Trish lost a step. She lost a couple steps, right? Like she's Trish Stratus. She's a mom. She does her thing in Canada, does all her stuff, and WWE is kind of in her rear view mirror. As active as she used to be. I think honestly, if she wants to do something with WWE, maybe she should think about producing. Don't get in the ring again. Maybe her last appearance should be at the Royal Rumble, and that's it. Last appearance should be at the Royal Rumble. Make an entrance as the make a women's entrance. But also, I also will say this: the women's division needs to get deeper because they got to. I mean, they are getting deeper with all the call ups and all the people that they're signing over to NXT. But we got to stop relying on Trish Stratus. She's showing up a little bit too often. Like, I think she's good for a Royal Rumble appearance, but outside of the Royal Rumble, let Trish Stratus be by herself. Or even better. And I said this during our in our group chat. WWE missed a moment. They could have had an all-female broadcast team. They could have put Trish on color commentary. They could have had one of the girls that do backstage help call the matches alongside Trish. Or hell, if you want to throw Stephanie in there, Stephanie could have been the third person in there. They could have done this the correct way. They almost did it all the way correct. Almost. Oh, WWE missed a moment. Because even though they're growing talent, they're growing their female talent pool, there's some parts that's missing. Like there should have been no way that Michael Cole was calling matches. Him and Wade Barrett, neither one of them should have been calling matches at Evolution. Joe Tessitore should not have been there, right? That should have been an all-woman staff. Next year, if WWE does it next year, what they should, make sure there's nothing but women on that show.
Yeah, you could have had Stephanie, and also they would have helped promote a podcast. Does everybody watch? I don't know, whatever. but I would have helped promote her podcast. She could have been on commentary. Yeah, I would have added her. Maybe not. Maybe if all female commentary team, maybe not, but certainly would have had Stephanie on.
Could have had Kathy Kelly or one. I don't know what her name is. Trish Stratus and Steph. That would have been a great staff right there.
Yeah, I've never. Kathy Kelly and Jackie Redmond is the backstage interviewer. They're scripted. They're doing scripted interviews. So are they good on commentary? Who knows? We've never heard them.
So what I will say is this. So let me ask you this question: who do you think will be the best person to mentor them?
Well, yes, Stephanie, Trish, Lita, any of those.
I'm gonna tell you the name of the person that should be mentoring these announcers. His name is Michael Cole.
Oh, okay,
Michael Cole's the GOAT in WWE. If anything, Triple H should be telling Michael Cole, all right, here's an earpiece, help them out. Help them get comfortable, help them, call the match, help them get comfortable. You're the GOAT, help them out. Because that's how Michael Cole started. Michael Cole didn't start in the chair immediately. If we all remember, Michael Cole started off backstage doing interviews.
Show over his head by The Rock.
Right? Like, getting tortured by The Rock because The Rock was a dickhead. But he started off backstage doing those interviews. And then when SmackDown came about, Michael Cole slowly but surely became the lead guy. And as the years gone by, remember when JR got drafted to SmackDown? That was JR. That was WWE telling JR to pass the torch over to Michael Cole to be like, hey, man, we think that you're the next voice of WWE. Here you go. Here's the ball. Don't drop it. Michael Cole could start doing that now for these talented women because, Michael Cole ain't going to be around forever. Like, yes, Vic Joseph and all those people, they coming up, but Cole should be mentoring these young ladies so that next year, if there is an evolution next year, help them out.
And there may very well be one next year. Triple H said, we'll have to wait and see. It was kind of, he got asked a question and he just said, well, we'll have to wait and see on demand. But going back to Trish, you can't keep lying on Trish. I've said that about Goldberg. So Goldberg's done, Cena's done this year. Trish is probably done. Who we got left? The Rock is hardly there. Who's left to keep going back to and keep bringing back these people, the stars you've got. Whatever. It's whatever. So moving on to Jay Cargill, Naomi, no holds bar match. So as I take a quick toilet break, give your thoughts on that match and your thoughts on it.
Wait, what was the match?
Jay Cargill, Naomi, no holds barred.
Oh my God, what a good match. Those black women lit it up. Oh, that was such a good match. Jay, listen, Jay and Naomi pulled out a lot of good stuff for this no holds bar match. It was a good way of ending their blood feud in a way. The TV, but the TV spot that was awesome. And obviously Jay did through the table to end the match. Oh my God, they lit it up. Naomi sometimes is a very underrated performer. I think promo wise, she's amazing. I think in ring wise, it can be up and down sometimes, but that match proved that she can do whatever she's doing in the ring. And Jade, I think one of the best things about Jade Cargill, because AEW booked her almost like Goldberg. She was just too strong for that division. And her star was just too big for AEW's lights. Now with her being in WWE, I think she's right where she belongs at. And I think this is lovely. Now, the only thing that we're missing is a Jay Cargill heel turn somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. Yeah, the TV, like the drop kick into the TV, it blew up. That was good. Like this felt like a fight. This felt like not just another match. Like these two actually hate each other. Jade or build momentum heading into SummerSlam. Should she take the title at SummerSlam? That's another question for another day. Yeah, good match. Battle Royal match saw Stephanie Vaquer won. Okay, I'll let you. Okay, give your thoughts first on the Battle Royal, but my thoughts will be like a whole second. But go on, yeah, go on.
I liked it. It was a battle royal. I mean, once again, what do you expect from a battle royals? Are never perfect. There's a lot of oil, a lot of sweat on those ropes. There's going to be botches. There's going to be different things, and you're however big the ring is, you're filling it up with people. You know, the most amount of people that should be in the ring at one time is probably four, and you're filling that up with more than four people. So some spots are going to look terrible. Like Natalia's worm was terrible. It was a really bad spot. But that's also not Natty's character. Natty's character doesn't do worms, especially a backwards worm. Like for the people that don't know, if you've never tried the worm, first of all, you didn't have a real childhood. If you never tried to do a worm before, now imagine trying to do the worm but backwards. That is not easy. The fact that Maxine Dupri can do it means she's uber talented as an athletic person. But Natalia is not as athletic as Maxine Dupri, and that's probably like one of the only botches I saw during the match because that was ugly. Other than that, it was a good match, and those Stephanie Bakir won a really good showing from Last Legend. I don't think people understand how much that did for Last Legend. And now that Jordan Grace is done with the NXT title, I think the person that's going to win that title at some point in time gotta be Lash. If Lash doesn't win the NXT Women's title at some point in time, they're wasting this opportunity for Lash, and I don't like that.
I thought the Battle Royal was very clunky, and yeah, the backwards caterpillar. They had half the ring, and it was just awful. It's awful. It was just flop. Wasn't a caterpillar at all, or three worm. Well, the caterpillar, what Otis calls it. But yeah, great for Stephanie Vaquer winning. Don't think she takes the title at Clash in Paris. I think they keep it on a certain. Somebody that also cashed in at Evolution. I think she's championing for a while. I don't know. You play hot potato with the women's title, but let's talk about it. So, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, good match. This went everywhere again. This felt like a fight. This felt like an actual match. Rhea actually wanting to beat Io. Io obviously not wanting to give the title up. And as both women are down, here she comes, cashing in. Naomi, your brand new women's world heavyweight champion. Obviously, everybody thought she was cashing in on Tiffany or Jade at SummerSlam. But yeah, this was good match, good cashing. Your brand new world champion, Naomi. I don't think Stephanie beats her in Paris. To build in Stephanie, but I think it's just to build her to lose. Yeah, good show for the women on as a main event for it. Your thoughts on Io, Rhea, and the cash-in?
Well, like you said, Io and Rhea were tearing the motherfucking house down. That match was so fucking good. That match was good. Probably match of the year. I'm giving that match of the year right now because that was so good. That was tremendously good. Great stuff. You can tell they highly respect each other, and that's what happens when you get a babyface versus babyface match. That's clearly two baby faces facing off against each other, and it's really good. Naomi cashing in. Now I don't know if people are going to agree with this. People might hate me for actually saying this. This is so Naomi's cash in is similar to the heist of the century. I'm gonna tell you why. If anything, it's better. I'm gonna tell you why. The only reason why it might not be better because it's not under the big lights of WrestleMania. That's it. But if you really want to be honest about it, no one expected Naomi to cash in on that match. Everybody was talking about Tiff, Tiff, Tiff. Even she kind of played it well. You know what I mean? But remember, Money in the Bank isn't just reserved for one title. It's all titles. It don't matter. It don't matter. So it could have been Tiffany and Trish, and Naomi would have saved that match, but then that would have wasted her match versus Jade. So it got played at the right time. Both people are down. No one kind of was like expecting it, and then her music hit. It was like, oh shit, here we go. This was better than Seth Rollins' cash in at WrestleMania those years ago. Way better. Naomi was totally beat the hell up. There was no way no one expected her to cash in, and in a way, she stole a match from the fans. Not only did she like Seth Rollins saved that god awful match between Brock and Roman. He saved that match. Now, mind you, that's the same match where Welcome to Suplex City bitch was introduced.
Yeah.
Right? That was that match. I remember that shit. Welcome to Suplex City, bitch. I was like, yo. But Seth Rollins saved that match. Because guess what? The fans were not fucking with Roman Reigns at that time. And it seemed like Roman Reigns could have won that match. Because the fans didn't want Roman to win. They didn't want Brock to win. So that match needed Seth Rollins to save it. This match, in a way, Naomi ruined it, but not in a bad way. She ruined it in a good way. None of the fans expected it. She robbed the fans of EO Scott or Rhea being the champion. This is probably one of the best cash-ins I've ever seen. This is better to me. And once again, I might get shit in the comments for it. This is better than Seth Rollins' heist of the century. Because not only did Naomi steal the title, she stole a match from the fans. This was perfect timing. This was unpredictable as unpredictable can get. Caution for sure. In my rating for Evolution, main event. Fucking event. Triple H run this shit back, and if anything, promote it better.
I know that you have to go soon. You fancy carry on or?
No, I can keep going.
Okay then, right then. So I move right into the red brand of Monday Night Raw. Sorry, very quickly. So because of a certain somebody going to be at Slammiversary tomorrow, in my wild fantasy booking mind, I had Jordan Grace beats JC Jane in his matcher Jordan tomorrow because Jordan and Naomi have history in TNA. Naomi catches in and becomes NXT Women's Champion and TNA Champion. That would keep Jordan and Masha neither take. Well, no, one has to take the pin. So okay, Jordan would keep looking strong. But obviously none of that happened in my wild fantasy booking. I had Naomi cashing in for a TNA title because of a certain somebody that's going to be turning up to Slammiversary tomorrow. So it's not just NXT and TNA main roster now. Speaking of Naomi, she came out, got a good promo on Raw. Rhea Ripley interrupted, Io Sky did. Adam Pearce makes a match at SummerSlam. Naomi. Okay. Judgment Day over the Kabuki Warriors. I get it, but okay. I was just gonna say they need challengers, but they've got challengers at SummerSlam, I suppose. So there's that. Lyra Valkyria in a 2 out of 3 fall match earns a match at SummerSlam against Becky Lynch. Knocks off Bayley. So this is all just to So this whole thing is so Becky probably losing at SummerSlam. This is just to get Lara over, and that's it. And Becky will go back to being face, probably. Okay, your thoughts on Judgment Day beating the Kabuki Warriors and Lara earning the title shot at SummerSlam?
I mean, the Kabuki War. So yeah, I mean, yes, the Judgment Day should be beating the Kabuki Warriors. Um, I don't know. I mean, they got the momentum on their side, and momentum is all you really need for in this day and age of everything. Uh, yeah, I mean, keep doing this thing with Lyra. Lyra's getting better each and every week, and let her knock off one horsewoman to get to the next, get to the other one.
WB Hall of Famer Nikki Bella is back. Probably only imagine until SummerSlam. So it's Nikki Bella, Chelsea Green. She gets Chelsea up for the Rack Attack, whatever move is it, the Rack Attack, whatever it's called now.
2.0.
Gets her up, but because there's no house shows anymore, so they can't practice it. It's just TV, and Nikki Bella's not wrestled. Take out the Battle Royal. Nikki Bella's not wrestled for years, so she gets her up, botches it. Chelsea clobbers her to make it look like she's having. Well, she did have trouble. Then gets her up again, hits her finisher. You could just tell in her face like, "Oh God, I botched that, didn't I?" Yes, you did, Nikki. But wouldn't it make sense? Okay. Yeah, I think they're going to do Stephanie and the Bellas versus Chelsea and the Secret Hervis at SummerSlam. Why is Chelsea being buried? What it is, what it is. Gunther came on out. Paul Heyman did. This was an okay promo between the two. Not battle royal match, gauntlet match, an actual gauntlet match. AEW, not a scramble match shit that they do. An actual gauntlet match won by CM Punk to earn his world title shot at SummerSlam. So this is where Rollins could return and cost Punk the match at SummerSlam should the injury be a work. The two Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. No, yeah, they attack Punk. Jay comes out for the save. They beat up Jay. Here he comes. OTC is back. Only back till SummerSlam. Then he's off to make a movie. Great return. Big return for Reigns. It looks like Reigns and Jay versus the two Bronze at SummerSlam. Rating, I'll say dark match. Apart from the Reigns return, what really else happened? So your thoughts on Nikki Bella beating Chelsea Green and Punk being in the match at SummerSlam?
They got to be building towards something with Nikki and Chelsea Green. I don't know what, but they got to be building towards something. The Bronze versus Roman and Jay.
Yeah. Well,
sure.
Punk winning the gauntlet. Your thoughts on that?
Punk. So he wins the gauntlet match, and what's the results of that? He gets to do what now?
Face Gunther at SummerSlam for the title.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I want him to lose, of course, but yeah, I kind of like that.
Well, there was no one else. It was Penta that seems to be getting buried with Knight. Knight, and I'm not counting beating Rollins. If the injury is real, he was never meant to beat. Yes, or beating Rollins is a big win, but he was never really meant to beat him, so I'm not really counting that as a win. His last big win was.
I have a theory. If Seth Rollins is out for this long, right? I don't know. Maybe at SummerSlam, since Seth Rollins is out, they should run back they should do a Money in the Bank match. Put
It
that
can be
briefcase back up there and have LA Knight win.
in an ideal world that would be great, but he's only out. If this is real, he's only out till December, so he's got a whole year to
Yeah,
cash
that's a
in.
problem. That's a problem though, because if anything, put the briefcase back up and allow Seth Rollins to, if and when he ever comes, whenever he comes back in December, yeah, he could let him be number one contender, right? Since it's like, all right, well, y'all stole my briefcase from me, I should be number one contender. Cool, 100%. Yeah, let's rock with that. That's fine. But right now, to make WWE look, to me, in a way, it saves space. It allows SummerSlam to really have another match that will captivate the audience, and it will allow the unpredictability of the Money in the Bank to be around, right? Because, and I think you said this before, Money in the Bank should be reserved for those that are on the rise. Seth Rollins is not on the rise. He's a multi-time world champion, multi-time. Give it to someone that needs that boost up, and that's been putting in the work. That's LA Knight. LA Knight has been putting in all the work. He deserves the boost up. I think if they, take away the Money in the Bank briefcase and put it back up and have a match at SummerSlam, it should be LA Knight, yeah, to win it and cash in on whoever the World Heavyweight Champion is.
Yeah, because it was rumored it was going to be Gunther Knight at SummerSlam. That was rumored. That didn't happen. But in the gauntlet match, Penta, I like Penta, but he won nothing, unfortunately. Knight's getting buried. Jay's just gone back to what he was. Braun was Braun Punk the last two. So, if the Rollins thing is real, it's a real injury. I see Gunther losing at SummerSlam. I think you put the title on Punk. But yeah, that was Raw. So let's go right into NXT. Fatal Influence start the show. Basha Slamovich makes her makes her entrance. Then Sol Ruka Zoria did. Brawl leads to a match later on. A lot of DQ action going on, but Dark State DQ win against Joe Hendry, Trick Williams, and Mike Santana. So obviously you don't want either team looking weak, but now NXT has got the build. No build, just next, because this was built into a match at Slammiversary. Not building, it's not even been built. It's just a match made for Slammiversary. So now NXT is going through that, just like the main roster, building nothing. It's just match. Kelly Armstrong, your Evolved champion, also a DQ finish, overcoming Petrovic because Jordan Grace got involved. Zero thoughts on both those DQ finishes: Dark State and Joe Trick and Mike Santana, and Kelly Armstrong and Common Petrovic.
To be honest, the Joe Santana and Williams match, you built it as much as you could. Right. One of the beautiful things about NXT's relationship with TNA is, you get to keep building things over those two shows, over these two different companies. You built this match all to the furthest extent that you can, right? You tag Joe Hendry with Mike Santana versus Trick and whoever. You teamed all the three of those guys together. This was just a stalling in time. That's all this was. This is just stalling time for Slammiversary because you cut all the promos you can. You've done all the awkward tag teams, all the awkward six-man tags that you can. Honestly, we're at the point where Slammiversary needs to happen. That's where we're at now. So I'm not mad about the DQ finish because it's one of those moments where it's like we've done all the talking we can do. Let's just move forward. We have to do the match. We're just stalling time. That's all it was. Jordan Grace interrupted that match. So Jordan Grace is pissed. I'd be pissed too. Someone I trusted, someone that's kind of new to this company, kind of like how I am, screwed me. So yeah, I'd be pissed off too. So yeah, I get that DQ finish as well.
You think they can build Jordan versus Blake until Heat Wave? Heat Wave is 24th of August.
Well, this is yeah, they could do it. I mean, they're building. When Blake hit Jordan with the belt at Evolution, that's what started a feud. Jordan coming out and interrupting the Evolve title match. That's helping build it. I think they can build this feud really well. Um, because NXT is really good at building feuds. The main roster sucks at it. NXT is doing a good job at it. So I disagree with your notion of they're moving on from next. NXT is actually doing it the correct way. DQ finishes because that the Evolved champion and Carmen Petrovich, that was just a match thrown together. There was no build there. That was just some shit to just throw together. And it seemed like that Dark State, that 6-man tag with Dark State was just thrown together as well. That didn't seem like it had any kind of build.
And of course, Heat Wave, old ECW pay-per-view, was it not, back in the day?
Yep, Heatwave was an old ECW pay-per-view. I love the fact that WWE's using the fact that they own these, WCW and ECW, and just reusing some of these pay-per-view names. I can't wait for the day that NXT uses Living Dangerously. That should be great.
They might do, possibly. Who knows?
That'd be cool.
Last year's Heatwave was just really nothing happening. It was just, now this is a pay-per-view. That was it. Just to make it a pay-per-view. Really nothing. Wasn't the greatest show ever, but Tony D'Angelo, Stacks, Luca Fino, triple threat action. I'll get your thoughts on that first. And Josh Briggs, Yoshiki Nomura promo. Obafemi comes out, you're getting a triple threat match next week. Your thoughts on both of those?
I mean, the triple threat match was all right. I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't really care too much about it. I think did Tony win this match?
Yeah, he won. Yeah,
I didn't really care about it. It was what it was, but it was just like I didn't. It's hard for me to really want to care about this storyline. It's not as compelling as I want it to be. Yeah, it's just not. It's just not it. It lost a lot of momentum. It lost a lot of steam. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. And what was the other thing that you said? Oh yeah, Josh Briggs and Yoshiki. Once again, Josh Briggs obviously interrupted the match at Great American Bash. Yoshiki is gonna go at it again with Oba, but Josh is like, "Yo, I want this more than you do, and you seem like you don't want it as much." So there's gonna be a triple threat match. So yeah, a good build to a triple threat match, but once again, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you said what I was going to say. Josh wants it more than Yoshiki. Go in for Tony D'Angelo. Your main event, Masha Slamovich and Sol Rucanzoria defeat and beat Fatal Influence. Also, this is a build to tomorrow night. Mid-card in my rating. Your thoughts on the main event for NXT? Well, okay, Marcus will come back to us. So I'll just very quickly go to Speed and Evolve.
My bad. I was on mute. Hold on. I like the match between Zarya, Marsh, and Sol Ruka versus Fatal Influence. First of all, I have to apologize to Fatal Influence. I have to apologize to those girls. Y'all, they now stick out now. I know once upon a time before they didn't. In my world, they just didn't stick out. those women absolutely 110% stick out. They stick out now.
Are you on the move there? Are you on your way to the cookout or?
No, I'm drying clothes.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry, right then. I just don't know you. Right, I apologize. So speed, um, no results. I think we might be taking a hiatus. It is what it is. I can't give my thoughts on something that hasn't happened. Evolve quickly. Tara May Steele defeat Kylie Ray and Chantel Monroe. Yeah, cool in-ring debut for Tara May Steele. Gintala pins Collie Bright. Cool. Edith Sanofi knocks off Kate Wilder. Dante Chen comes out. It looks like Dante Chen. Edith Sanofi going to have a match at some point. Contract signing between Jackson Gray. No, no contract signing. It was last week. This title match: Jackson Gray, Lindsay Dorado. Jackson Gray retains, and Brooks Jensen from NXT attacks Jackson. Looks like they're going to have a match. Mid card also. On to Smacky D's, a Blue Brand SmackDown. Charlotte's, so it's at SummerSlam. There have been tag team titles. Alexa and Charlotte versus Raquel and Roxanne. Charlotte, Raquel Rodriguez, your winner here, while Charlotte, obviously builds a momentum for SummerSlam. Also, you get in Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, steel cage match for the US title. Okay, so both of these are TV matches. Damian Priest, DQ win against Carmelo Hayes. So it's Alistair. It's probably going to be Alistair Black, Priest, SummerSlam. Alistair Black should be winning there, I think. Your thoughts on Charlotte over Raquel and Priest and Carmelo Hayes match?
I love the Charlotte over Raquel thing. I love the T-shirt that her and Alexa Bliss have now, which say "We are not friends. We're not friends. We're just allies." That's actually a really funny shirt. I would actually really consider getting one of those because they're not friends. They're just allies. So that's a really funny piece of clothing that they have because like seriously, that's damn funny for them to just have that piece of clothing and be like, yeah, we're not friends. We're just acquaintances. But that's a good look for Charlotte. It's a good look for Alexa and Charlotte. And and it results in them two having them two are getting a tag team title shot at SummerSlam. Because Alexa Bliss was like, "Wait, what? We got a title match?" And she was like, "Well, Charlotte was like, I am still Charlotte Flair. It doesn't matter if I'm in a team or not." So that's pretty cool. And I did not see the Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes match.
You missed nothing, so. Solo Sikoa comes out. Jacob Fatu, Jimmy to attack. So get your thoughts on that. So just based on this, I know you're not personal thoughts of Jacob Fatu, just based on the segment. And Stephanie Vakia defeats Alba Fire. Your thoughts on both of those?
So you said Solo doing what now?
He cut a promo along with his guys, Jacob Fatu.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I mean, Solo's funny. I listen, like I said, Jacob will forever be. I would never cheer Jacob Fatu ever again. So Solo's hilarious. Solo's funny as hell for being who he is, and respect for him for being who he is and building up his character as soon as he started talking. So good for Solo. But obviously, it resulted in a a little beatdown because it featured Big Jim as well as Jacob bitch ass Fatu. And was there a match after that?
Stephanie Alba Fire.
I didn't see it.
Again, you missed nothing. So the solo thing was, well, it's just build to the match. You want to call it build. Steph is getting winged, like I said, where it's probably leading to Stephanie and the Bellas versus Chelsea, Alba, and Piper at SummerSlam. So it's like we've got 2 nights of SummerSlam to fill. Let's try and fill a lot of TV matches, but it is what it is. Because very quickly the matches that are made, I'm not going to go through them, but half the card are TV matches.
I mean, how else are you supposed to fill a card of 2 days?
This is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. Most of them.
How else do you fill? How else are you supposed to fill a 2-night card? This is why SummerSlam should never be 2 nights. It's ridiculous. No pay-per-view, honestly, should be 2 nights.
Well, they're giving me Paul's TK are looking at this. None of this makes sense. It's just more money. Fatal 4 match, so Andrade and not Ricochet. Andrade and Ray Phoenix or the DIY Fraxium and Multitude Machine Guns. They get a title shot next week. Can this be at SummerSlam? Whatever. Your Andrade and Ray are a good team. And then your main event segment, contract signing. Contract signing, I don't really like anyway. They're just they just to build the match. Because the match was official because Cody won King of the Ring and he needs to sign the contract. Whatever. He needs to sign a contract. Here comes Cody. Here comes Cena. Ending a brawl. But Cena's now scared of Cody. When did that happen? So the WWE know that this match is no one's interested. No one wants to see this match again. Overshadowed because The Rock wasn't there and Travis Scott was there at WrestleMania. The match was bad. Let's do it as a street fight match. Then they know it's going to be bad, so at least that will make it street fight. So this is the build. Because Cena's not there next week. I don't think he's there. I don't think he's there until SummerSlam now. So either this is it until SummerSlam, or Cody's going to build a match. He's not that good on the microphone because I don't even know what and it's only 24 hours, even less than 24 hours ago. I don't know what Tony said in his promo. I wasn't listening because they're all the same. Promos go nowhere. It's just, what you want to talk about? What did he say? But Ray, apart from Cena, nothing else happened on SmackDown. I'll say dark match. Your thoughts on Ray and Andrade winning the Fatal 4-Way and the contract signing?
I didn't see the tag match. Oh no, I did see it, but I kind of wasn't paying attention to it. I actually really like the Cena and Cody Rhodes contract signing. Cena kind of played into the crowd, like, hey, listen, kid, I'm sorry. Listen, just hear me out. I'm not going to be here. I can't tell you how much joy I got into that promo, that contract sign, because it was like, hey, listen, there's bigger things going on, right? Once again, I don't think people understand the small hints that's getting thrown down, but this lets you know, like, this is also one of those things that John Cena is trying to ruin wrestling type of thing. Because guess what? When Hollywood calls is bigger than WWE. The payout is bigger than WWE. Right? It's like, this is another way of ruining wrestling. Telling the fans, right? As if the fans didn't know already, but telling the fans, like, hey, listen, guys, I got a movie I got to shoot. This is bigger than this motherfucking WWE title. Sorry, not sorry. This, money, cash rules everything around me. Cream gets the money. And the money for the movie is a lot better than doing this goddamn wrestling match. But hey, listen, I could give you. I could. We could do. We could do this again in Paris. We could do this anywhere else. We could do this in Perth, wherever you want to go, man. We could do this. We could do this later, just not here. The reason why I love that so much is because it's like, yo, this is a part of John Cena's whole "let's kill wrestling." I'm trying to ruin wrestling shtick, and I think even though I know how you feel, I think it went. I think that part went over your head. That went over your head, right? This is supposed to be like the way this is painted. Cody is Superman, while Cena is Lex Luthor, right? I'm ruining wrestling. I'm ruining the thing that you love. And yes, it's going to take a back seat to something that you love. I'm gonna make sure that this thing that you love, that you fought so hard for, that is your family's business, is taking a back seat to whatever the fuck I want to do, whatever the fuck I got going on, because whatever I got going on is bigger than this stupid ass company. That's what this. That's I think a lot of people aren't really understanding the bill, and the thing is, I get it because my life isn't just wrestling. I know that there's a bigger picture, and I think that's what John Cena is trying to portray. But once again, it's up to the marks and the fans to really read into it and go like, "Oh shit, yeah, that makes a lot more sense than I thought." So I love the whole segment. I know you didn't like some of the other stuff involved with the segment, but I love this segment. This segment did the things that I needed it to do.
But did Cody's promo before Cena came out? Well, then Cody didn't say anything after that. But did his promo actually progress anything? What did he say in his promo? It was just, for me, what you want to talk about.
Well, no. Well, the thing is, so Cody's promo pushed the fact that he loves this business. This business, that he earned his way into his business. He saw his dad, he saw his brother in this business. He grew love for this business. He saw this as a family business, and so he wants to get business going. You know what I mean? Like that's why he told Adam Pearce, like, listen, let's not stall this out any longer. Bring the champ out.
Yeah, why was that? And it's going to be a draft? Why was Adam Pearce? Where was Nick Aldis? What?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Like, where the hell is Nick Aldis? Why is Adam Pearce?
Why is Stephanie? Not my man, Stephanie Vikier on Raw on SmackDown? And there's going to be apparently going to be a draft.
Yeah, so this is why. So I don't know if I said this before. I hate how WWE's now, because before, when you got drafted to a show, you didn't show up on other shows. That didn't exist before.
War Games is Raw versus SmackDown. Let's use Punk, for example. It's been on Raw since returning. He's going to go to SmackDown and all of a sudden be fighting for SmackDown.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Like, that's stupid, right?
Or a Cody, whoever. The looking names out the thin air. Cody, who's been on SmackDown for the most part. He's going to go to Raw and he's going to be fighting for Raw. And then
it doesn't make any sense.
And then how long before he's vice versa, Punk or Cody or whoever's back on the other show?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I hate. This is why I don't respect the way that they do it now. And I blame this all on when they started these Raw and SmackDown super shows. When they started doing these little super shows on Raw, it was like, well, this is the end of the draft era, right? Like why have two World Heavyweight Championships then? If this is what's going to happen, why have two World Heavyweight Championships? If this is the case, then why have two mid-card titles? Actually, you still need two mid-card titles, but one is obviously going to be a third and not a second, right? But what's the point of having separate tag team titles? What's the point of having two separate women's titles? Like, now mind you, the women's division do a better job than the men's division as far as stuff. And even the mid-card title scene does a lot better of a job. It's only the top guys that are going from show to show. And Stephanie Bakir, to be honest, she hasn't really been officially drafted to Raw. She just shows up.
No, she got signed. She came up to the main roster, I think. called Anna Pierce said, "Welcome to Raw." And
Well, if that's the case, then why is she on SmackDown?
because they've got too many things coming up. So it's probably going to be Stephanie and the Bella Twins. So how do we get to that? We can't just do that on Raw. Oh no, we'll do it on SmackDown. It doesn't matter if it makes any sense or not. We'll just do that on SmackDown.
I mean, because like Chelsea Green is a SmackDown superstar, technically.
Yeah. And very quickly before we move on here, really quickly, if the Rollins thing is real, my thoughts were Cody beat Cena, Rollins touches in, that's your only out. Cody's beating Cena. If he stays face, he's got no one to take on then. And if he goes heel, still no one, because the only other person is Orton, who's so 50-50.
Well, Orton will forever be a tweener. That's who Randy is, and I think Randy Orton is better as a tweener than he is as a babyface or a heel. But you're right though. This doesn't really give Cody many people to face if he does beat Cena at SummerSlam. Doesn't really give him many people to face, and this is what ruined his first title reign. His first title reign didn't have as many people, right? Like, to be fair, WWE doesn't have as many, especially if we're talking about just SmackDown. SmackDown doesn't have as many heels as it does baby faces. SmackDown has too many baby faces compared to heels. So are we just going to do a whole lot of babyface stuff or what?
As good as the match was of Styles, Styles, Cody, and the crowd more than made it. Styles had just took a loss at Mania and was so playing even mid card last year. So Cody, first title defense, Cody devalued it by defending against Styles. And I said this, I think, to myself, and it's probably this is what they're gonna do. LA Knight beat Rollins, Cody's gonna beat Cena, go heel, Cody's first title defense. He's gonna be LA Knight. Talk about devaluing. LA Knight's not won, and I'm not counting Rollins. He shouldn't have. Or what? Okay, I'll count it. He beat Rollins. First big win for a while. Title totally devalued. That's what it's going to be because LA Knight can I beat Seth Rollins.
So you think that's devaluing the title because LA Knight is going after it?
Take out Rollins. His last big win was.
Nah, you can't take out Rollins. It's a business of what have you done for me lately, and what LA Knight has done lately is beat Rollins.
Before that, he lost at Mania.
He beat Rollins. He beat a top star.
A one whole win this year. Ooh.
Exactly. That's awesome. That's better than zero.
Yeah. But no one thinks that Knight is going to beat Cody, so it's like, oh god, another predictable title reign. So I say keep the title on Cena. Have him retire with it. Why not? Why not?
I mean, listen, because here's the other thing. Where are the top baby faces outside of Cody and a couple other names that is much more of a legacy thing? Who else is a top baby face?
Punk, but he's also 50-50.
Punk is also on Raw.
That doesn't matter anymore. Punk was on
obviously,
Raw.
And John Cena already beat Punk. He beat Punk, and that match was meh.
I would do if I'm booking Reigns. Cena, we'd be back by October.
Why is Reigns even getting booked?
Reigns, Cena in Perth because that's a big show. They're going to want to play have a big match.
I wouldn't even book Roman. What are we booking Roman for?
Reigns, Cena one last time.
In what? In a squash match? Because Roman has not been in the ring.
This is why it's all this and a lack of building stars. Built any stars. An actual star, Cena. That's it.
This is the problem. Well, once again, this is where WWE is getting lazy because and this is why I'm pushing for LA Knight so big because they need to make stars, right? Obviously, we understand that WWE is lacking somewhere, and where they lacking at is not making stars. Make a star, create a new star. You need it to push the product further. They need to make a star. LA Knight had some push when he was the US champion. Hell, when he had a little program versus Roman Reigns, he had a really good push. Then, he got retracted back a little bit. New people came in, but LA Knight stayed consistent. And, things happened. LA Knight was one of the favorites to win Money in the Bank. LA Knight, no matter what the circumstances with Seth Rollins, he beat Seth Rollins. And he was in the good feud with Seth Rollins. So this is what I'm saying. Why not LA Knight go after something? There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with babyface versus babyface. We've seen that. We just seen that from EO and Rhea. Both of them were baby faces, and they put on one hell of a match. What's the problem with doing babyface versus babyface?
No, I suppose. But yeah, we'll quickly move on here. But first, I'll play an ad and we'll go through wrestling this week in wrestling history, TNA predictions, and then we're done here. But I'll play this first. That is right. For your latest food and drink reviews, I'll just sort that again. Reread the script for your food and drink review needs. Any review needs. So if you want to know what the latest, what footwear to get for skateboarding, that is a channel for you. If you want to learn how to make sidecar cocktail, that is a channel for you. As always, in the description. But let's talk about a bit of wrestling history with this. I've actually got that there. I've actually got it this week, the banner. So in July 2002, so July 15th, the year 2002 saw a certain somebody make his WWE debut, and that certain somebody was Eric Bischoff, coming out as the Raw general manager. Mr. McMahon, Eric Bischoff embracing, hell had frozen over. So Vince hated Eric Bischoff, not maybe not vice versa, but Vince hated Eric Bischoff. Eric coming in, your new Raw general manager. Took him over the time. Memories of it, Marcus.
What did you just ask me?
Memories of Eric Bischoff coming in as a Raw general manager in the all those years ago.
So this is back in 2002. I was 11 at the time. I ain't turned 12 yet. From what I remember, I didn't have cable at the time, so I watched this back on the SmackDown replay of Raw, and it was a little bit of a shocker because I'm like, who the fuck is that? He looked kind of fat. And then I looked, and I was like, oh shit, that's Eric Bischoff. The Bish is back. And, with his song, I'm back and better than ever. I didn't know what to feel about it because this is before. I mean, Vince. I think within that same day, around that same day that I was watching the SmackDown replay of what happened on Raw, I think Vince had announced that Stephanie was the GM of SmackDown. I think so. That was awesome because it was like, oh, his daughter taking over this part. Great. That's awesome stuff. I'm not sure if that's in your notes, but I'm not sure if that even happened, but I'm sure that did. At least to what I remember about the memory. Um, but yeah, it was cool because then I was like, wait, are they really going to run like a Nitro versus SmackDown kind of thing? Because Bischoff was in charge of Nitro, blah blah blah. So I was like, I remember being excited for this moment.
In the year 2020, July 16th saw Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman clash in a swamp fight. At the time, obviously COVID, there was no fans, there was no crowd. It was what it was. They were doing what they could. This was fun at the time. It was different. Um, yeah. Did you see them? Did you see the match? What was your memories of it?
I did see this match, the Swamp match. It was what it was. It's hard to put it into words. They really tried to recreate the magic that they had with the Undertaker AJ Styles match and how good that was. They tried to recreate it, and it had its moments, but overall it was okay. It wasn't the best thing I've seen from those live kind of like live kind of matches. Obviously the Hardys at the Hardy Compound did a lot better of a job than that Swamp match was.
And of course, the people in the comment, people watching now or later on, get your comments in, your comments, your thoughts, your memories in of Eric Bischoff coming in as Raw GM, the Swamp Fight, and the next one that happened on 2011, July 17th, of course, infamous CM Punk with the WWE title on the 90 contract. It was due to expire and leaving. You thought he left with the WWE Championship, blowing that kiss to Vince McMahon, going to the crowd, and he was gone. He was out of there. Your thoughts of this, memories of this, should I say, Marcus?
This is around the time I wasn't watching wrestling. So for me, my memories of it is very hazy. But from what I remember, it was like, oh shit, so the WWE title is gone. What's next? I mean, they still had the World Heavyweight title, right? Like, that was my thoughts. Like, okay, well, the WWE title is gone, so the championship is the biggest title. Instead, WWE really, truly fucked with our intelligence and was just like, hey, so we're just going to make another WWE championship, which was a piece of shit. That was such rubbish when they did that because it's just like, what was the point of CM Punk supposed to have walked out with that title from what I saw? He's supposed to have walked out. How y'all gonna make another one that fast? I don't know. Like I said, my memories of it was hazy because I wasn't watching wrestling at the time. I just remember seeing bits and pieces of being like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. And just being like, okay, so this is insulting because how do y'all have another championship that isn't the big gold belt?
And keeping with the Money in the Bank theme, the year 2021, just 4 years ago, July 18th, saw the return of John Cena with a back at Money. So the very first pay per view back after COVID. So John Cena coming back surprising us all, shocking Roman Reigns after Reigns put away Edge to retain the Universal Championship. Obviously, that led to Cena Reigns at SummerSlam. Reigns obviously retained. Yeah, your memories of this, Marcus.
Oh man, talk about a really big pop. Oh man, when the horns come on, you know what to do. It was cool because, like, for a while we haven't seen Cena. Cena's faded off into Hollywood and making movies and TV shows. So when you hear this music go, I'm like, huh? Oh shit! It's like, oh, the franchise boy is back. Cool. And obviously this is during Roman's, reign of terror. So of course I wanted to see the underdog, who was John Cena, beat Roman and stuff. But this was a super cool moment that was had at the Money in the Bank pay per view.
And also, obviously, that came your first pay per view out of COVID. So yeah, big return.
Big return. You can hear the crowd pop. It was cool.
They would have popped for Hornswoggle if he had returned. It was the first pay per view back after COVID. So
Nah, not the same way that they pop for John Cena. John Cena's pop is like third best pop behind like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
yeah, true, very true. So we're gonna play one more ad here, then we're gonna get into a bit. So yeah, get into predictions. Let me quickly take that off quick, really quick. Where are we? It's somewhere there. It is. Let me take that off. Play an ad. Get into some predictions, and yeah. So play this. That is right. Go ahead and like and subscribe right now. Go ahead to WWA World Wrestling Alliance. Check out my watch alongs, all of that. The podcast every single week as we go right into some predictions, like I already would say. And the other predictions are these right here. Of course, TNA Slammiversary. So it will be the return, not the return, sorry, yeah, the return of AJ Styles to TNA. So your thoughts on that first, Marcus?
I mean, if that's what's happening, this is probably one of the best things that can ever happen.
Yeah, obviously that Slammiversary is their WrestleMania, so a big name for their WrestleMania. But the matches are 9 matches, 2 on the countdown and 7 on the main show. So Jake Something, Steve Macklin and Mance Warner versus Zilla Fatu, Real One, which is Enzo Amore, and Josh Bishop. I'll say Zilla's team wins. Who have you got?
I guess Zilla's team because that features Enzo Amore, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
can't see Zilla coming in to lose his first match.
Yeah, I can't see that either.
For the women's knockout tag team titles, Elegance Brand versus the Inspiration, which is the former Iconics. Who have you got? Have you got coming out tag team champions on the women's side of things?
I got I'm trying to say their actual name. The Inspiration.
Okay, I think Ash Elegance retaining, not being champions for long, but yeah, they could do a switch here. It will be in more 6-man tag team action. We'll see Dark State take on the System. Dark State really need the win. They've just become just another faction. So I'll say them. I think the System can take a loss. Who have you got?
I got the System. Dark State doesn't seem like at first it was a threat, but then they also are leaderless. So like you can't take Dark State seriously. You know what? I wish Dark State in a way was kind of like what was the name of that stable in AEW?
Oh, the the Dark Order. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that Dark State in a way was like the Dark Order in a way, like they had a supreme leader, and then those guys were like grunts, kind of like like going after tag gold and secondary gold, and then their main boss was going after like the big title, and instead we got what we have, and now they're just regular ass dudes.
Or as Jim Cornette called them, the Dork Order. Tessa Blanchard goes 1-on-1 against Indy Hartwell. Who's taking the win here?
I'm gonna go with a true four horsewoman, Tessa Blanchard.
I'll say this could go 50-50 if Tessa takes a win. I won't be shocked. I'll pick Indy because I think Tessa could take a loss, and would be a big win for Indy. So I'll say her. But if Tessa does win, it won't. It's not the biggest shock ever in wrestling. Mustafa Ali goes 1-on-1 against Cedric Alexander. I thought, okay, on TNA, Mustafa Ali's guys joined Cedric. Okay, but on Wikipedia it's saying that's not the case. I'll say Cedric, but again, this could go 50-50. Who's taking the win here?
I got Mustafa Ali.
For the X Division title, Moose will defend against UK's own Leon Slater. I see Leon taking the gold. Who have you got?
Moose.
Okay. For the TNA, not TNA, for the NXT, yeah, of course, TNA tag team titles in a ladder match. The Nimbus, the Hardys, the Rascals, and First Class. Who have you got working out tag team champions?
You know what? I want to see First Class win it.
I think the Nimbus retain. He just won them at Rebellion. So I'll say the Nimbus here. For the women's knockouts title and NXT women's title, Jada Jane, Masha Slamovich. I think Masha does it here. NXT women's title being on their TV really puts viewers and eyes on the product. They don't seem much just like Joe, like Trick's not going to be champion forever, which we'll get to him in a second. Masha not be champion forever. You see, like what WWE have done is made TNA must see, whereas I know it was during COVID, but when AEW and TNA were together, it's just all about gaining AEW over. But I see Masha Slamovich walking out with 2 titles. Who've you got?
I got Marsha as well. I think she's a good champion. I think the only problem with Marsha Slamovich is that we've only seen her mostly on TNA TV. We haven't really seen her, go over to NXT, and I think it's about time for that to change.
And in your main event in a triple threat match, Joe Henry, Mike Santana, Trick Williams. This could go either way. I was thinking last night which way it could go. It could be Mike Santana's time. Joe Henry could win it back. You could have Trick retain and Mike wins it on a random NXT as a shocker. I'll say Joe wins it back, but this is also it is so unpredictable. Could go either way, but I'll pick Joe. I think. Who've you got?
I think, and this is hard. Like you said, this is 33% across the board. Any of those guys could win. I'm actually going to give it to Mike Santana. I think, well, similar to Joe Hendry and all the work that he put in over his time period to then become, to be honest, bigger than TNA. And Joe Hendry is going to make that jump at some point in time, and I think honestly that jump is going to happen very soon. I think it's Mike Santana's time. I think Mike Santana has served very well within the tag team role for most of his career, and I think now is his time to finally become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
I think Joe's contract is up in December, so that's probably when so Joe could win it here and lose it at their next pay-per-view. I think whatever their next not TV special, but pay-per-view. Or you could have Trick retains, pins Joe Mike wasn't the one to be pinned. He gets his rematch, and like I said, a random, maybe a heat wave. Maybe they're gonna do this at heat wave.
It wouldn't be the same to win the TNA title at a non-TNA event.
That's all. It's all about making headlines.
Yeah, I mean, but Trick won the title at a TNA event, right? It will only be right for Mike Santana somewhere down the line to win it at a TNA event, because he's TNA all the way. So my pick is Mike Santana, though.
Okay. So there's one final segment, and that is this right here before we finish up. Long episode, I know, guys, 2.5 hours. But it is what it is. A lot of wrestling to talk about. And that final segment is... Let me play it. There it is. That is right. Wrestling Days Out. Let me quickly get up the banner quickly somewhere. I actually deleted it just to create another one. But yeah, Wrestling Days Out. So I went to watch wrestling last night. Good show. Met quite a few other wrestlers. My next two, and tickets are still on sale for both of these. I was trying to quickly promote these, put these over, let you guys know where I'm going next. So tomorrow night, I've got this. Tickets are still on sale. BTW, Bolton Town Wrestling, Battleground. And then in between the two nights of SummerSlam, I've got this. So tickets are still on sale for both of these. So for those that I'm from the UK area, and I'm gone to indie wrestling, go and check it out. You'll have a great time, I'm sure. Tell them I sent you. But yeah, those are the next two I've got coming up. I'm trying to delete that, not show it again. Whatever. But yes, like and subscribe. A long episode, over 2.5 hours. But as always, Marcus, final words are over to you.
Guys, make sure that you stay subscribed. We do this every Saturday. And this time we was fairly on time. Everybody. So, I know the episode's long. Tune into the shorts. If that's more your speed, tune into the shorts, but you get the full conversation piece by tuning in to the podcast.
That is right. And yes, like, subscribe, share. Look out at my short, in fact, right after this, just promoting my TNA watch along tomorrow night. And yeah, like, subscribe, share, all of that. Thank you to all of those that have watched my shorts. Thank you to all of those that have watched my post on TikTok. Well, all that is great. We need to translate onto here. Hopefully it will do one day. Like, subscribe, and always remember, wrestling is the game. Oh no, it's not that anymore, is it? Always remember that Ricky J brings the British bite to the fight.